disclaimer, I like my language. Like I like my coffee, my partners, and the inseam of my workout leggings. Strong as fuck, okay? And if you are not okay with strong language, I am so proud of you asserting a boundary for yourself and being consistent with it and sliding by this video, like resisting the urge to go into a comment section and be like, you say curse words. Yes, I cuss here. We cuss. Hi, I'm Sydney, and this is Sweet Finish. This is actually the first episode. I am changing this channel to something that I think that we both will like much more than what it has been. And it's about to be a YouTube video podcast. Now, I'm working to see if I can get the podcast in other places because not everybody watches podcasts, but I do. And so this is going to be one of them. So let's go over sponsorship because we have a sponsor for this first episode, and the sponsor is me, bitch. This first episode has been sponsored by Sweet Finish, a bespoke coffee experience inspired by the sweeter things in life, art, culture, and you. If you're listening to this, I winked and it was adorable. Coffee being used / the drink that was made. So this is a double shot of espresso. This is a Big Daddy shot. 17 grams, 17 in, like 46 out. Yes. And the coffee being drank is sponsored by, hold on. Oh, I got my nails. Me, bitch. It is me again. Every woman, it's all in me. Actually, no, it's not. And if you want to sponsor our episode, I will accept that. But yes, this is by using Loom coffee. So Sweet Finish is a Loom coffee account. This is a Loom coffee stan. So the entity that is Sweet Finish and all that it is evolving is a multi-roaster, right? I don't like to limit myself, but there's something about consistency that's just sweet. And Loom coffee is aesthetically beautiful. Taste-wise, taste-wise, absolutely delicious. And it's easy to play with. You can get different profiles. In my coffee professional history, one of the things that made me fall in love with this field is the amazing things that you can create with a single origin espresso. And then as I grew in coffee, I recognized that blends also can be in. And you can create a multitude of things. And so what I like about keeping Sweet Finish short and sweet and succinct, small for small sake. We are not trying to grow. We're not trying to grow in entities or in size. We're actually trying to grow in impact, and grow in our coffee knowledge, grow in our reach and our benefit to the community closest to us. I'm in the southeast side of the Americas, United States of America. And for our industry, in our industry as a whole. So, yeah. What else? Oh, this is Loom's Papua New Guinea Fair Trade Organic. I will put the info in the description box so you can pick it up because it's damn good. All right, so I'm going to read this little intro because I wrote it and I think that it's really good. Okay, so if you're saying like, what the hell is Sweet Finish, right? And girl, I don't know yet. Girl, I don't know. We are figuring this out together. Actually, that's not true. I actually do know. Let me stop. I know. And it's damn good. It's sweet. But there's so many reasons why people would be drawn to listen to a podcast. Either to learn things, to be entertained, to be educated, to be empathized with, to understand and listen, and to empathize with others and experiences that you may not be able to experience. And we normally, when it comes to small businesses and like someone's business journey, we do like to meet them at their sweet finish, meet them when they've passed the finish line and they are like doing it and they're on their victory lap. That victory lap allows us to not have to see the ugly bits. Many times we want to meet people at their sweet finish, when it's just tidied up. We don't have to be around in the messy bits, the mistakes, the depressive episodes, the feelings of rejection, the excitement, and then the letdowns. We don't have to bear witness to that, because even though we know that it exists, even though we like to read about it, we always like to read about it with the ending. There are no cliffhangers. There is not any question on whether or not they will make it, or whether or not they will not make it, because we're meeting them at make it. Sweet Finish is documenting all the uncomfortable, ugly, awkward bits of trying to carve out a digital space, be a self, to work for yourself, entrepreneurship, and exist in this ever changing, a lot of times for the bad, shitty hellscape, but wonderful heaven sent world. And it's not clean. There is espresso stains on our fingers. My what do you call it? Where I put my espresso is actually a repurposed Garrets Popcorn tin, because you can take the girl out the go, but I'll still be jazz. Yeah, Garrets Popcorn is absolutely delicious. If you go to the store and you're not getting Garrets, or I think it's like John's or something, whatever, very waspy names, but if you're not getting, and it says just Chicago style popcorn, here's how you know you have a quality Chicago style popcorn. It's not about the caramel. It's not as much about the just the butter, the cheese. It's all about the cheese, okay? And y'all be doing that little weak sauce, I don't have to survive a cold ass winter cheese, and it hurts my heart, and it just offends my casserole sensibilities with how dry and uninspiring your cheesy popcorn is. And so stop calling it Chicago style if you're gonna give me that weak sauce cheese. A part of like entrepreneurship and carving out a digital space is carving out a digital space in a way that is authentic. But the thing about being authentic, but also wanting and being aware of trends, being aware of what's going on and what works, is a lot of times your authentic self and what works, there is a divide. There is animus happening. And as a Black, full-bodied sweet finish, follow me on Instagram and TikTok, Fullbodiedsweetinish. But as a Black person, Black, femme, woman, that's thick, 2 or more C's at any given day, right? What is acceptable, pun intended, many times does not have space for me. I am, to the core of me, a girl around the way. I am always in sports bras. I brew my coffee at home. So I'm not going to be in a, what do you call it? In a uniform in my damn kitchen. You know what I'm saying? And so I was really getting comfortable with having a coffee audience by making brew videos in my sports bra. So then when I was like, okay, I want to do this like social media because I picked up the trends, I've done these things, and I want brands to invest in me and stuff. I understand the thing about brand is, do you sell? Can you sell this? Because it's about money, it's about Benjamins, and it's an investment, and you want someone to speak to your values. And I recognize that my titties were just too damn big for a lot of y'all values, but it's not too big for your customers. And I'm not saying on some OnlyFans shit, I'm just saying on some real shit. And this is what you're gonna get on Sweetfinish. On the real, like, so many coffee brands were like, yo, like, if you go into their comment section, you have people tagging me or people being like, yo, I got this coffee from my girl over here. She said it was good and I went and I bought some, right? And many of those brands still would not feel comfortable of even like reposting my brew videos on their site. And that hurt my feelings. So I changed. And this is honesty. Like, it hurt my feelings. I'm like, I want to be that type of person. And so I changed. And then my Instagram no longer became my home. It always had to be something where I had to be making a point, making a reason, defending my humanity. And it had to be something serious. And I'm not fucking serious. Like, I'm a regular degular ass girl, right? And regular people like coffee, and they like good ass coffee. And one of the things that tethers me to my self-worth is my ritual of drinking delicious fucking coffee, right? Because I feel like in this small way, in this world with a multitude of things that are outside of my control, that I cannot change, that I cannot grow, that I cannot improve upon, I can invest my pennies into this coffee, and I did a good fucking thing. And look at it, and I feel good, and it looks good, and I look good, and I'm going about my day, and I've invested good, and hopefully my good is good for someone else, because my good requires someone else. And so what specialty coffee does with branding is it really does, it gives you this information. It's all about traceability, but they're like Democrats, like, you do not communicate, and you are not branding it like, hey, bitch, I know that you feel like everything bad that could possibly happen is happening, and there's nothing you can do about it. And these changes that are necessary, there's nothing you can do about it. But guess what? You can do something with your dollars, because we're doing something with the more dollars and the capital that we have, and the social capital and the class that we have as business owners. And so we're trying to use that class as a way to adjust the power dynamics. And so we need your help. And so this could be your deed for the day. Y'all are not marketing that. Hold on. Okay. But so y'all are not marketing that. And so you go, and I'm saying these words, and I'm saying it in the way that I say it, and I'm comfortable in my home. And then to be able to be your mouthpiece, I had to change, and I realized that y'all's lips are chapped, and fuck you. And so you will see me back on my brewing with my titties out trip, because that's my page, and I'm not wearing a uniform for my page, essentially. And the thing about respectability is it empowers the perception more than your personhood. And so we don't do that. We don't do that here. All right. I'm looking at my notes. So yes, let's talk about Sweetfinish, my small business journey, because even though this is about Sweetfinish, my small business that I'm trying to navigate how to do and what to do and blah, blah, blah. But it's also just like a coffee conversation. Like, a lot of times y'all love baristas, right? They're all cool, and a lot of them are cute and yada, yada, yada. And so you come behind the bar, and we talking that good shit behind the bar, and you are correct. Some of my most perception growing conversations were had in between rushes, with espresso stains on my fingers and exhaustion in my body, right? And people come in and they want a piece of that. Oh my gosh, the storm. We know it's raining. No, it's an Amber Alert. Y'all stop stealing kids. Damn. But anyways, yeah. I am like, I do not follow the schedules great. And so I was like on my little rant about like, fat girl sports bra brew agenda. So, but it's fine. It's a conversation. And a lot of y'all can pick the solidarity and the camaraderie that can exist behind the bar. And the conversations are exciting and educational. And it's not just coffee, it's about everything, because baristas are people who exist and this is our profession. But we never stop being people. It doesn't matter how great the lattes are and how quick we can move. We are man, not machine, etc. And this is going to be a documentation not only on how I extract somehow financial and professional stability with Sweet Finish, the business. It's ups and downs. At first I was going to do it with my best friend, hey Alexis, and they moved to the worst state in the union, Texas, sorry. And so that was a change. Then I was set up to do these pop-ups with this window, and I called them and I was doing all these things and I never got a response. And now there's someone else there and it's cute, right? I'm happy for them. Then I went to the museum, and then the contract stuff is not, but no one can communicate anything with me. And so I was there, and then that's a change. And so everything is just like up and up, and everything is just in this anxiety space. And I recognize that, why am I acting like I've never been here before? I am an agent of chaos. And the thing about chaos, once you get used to it, you recognize that the only way to adjust it is from within. And what I mean within is me. So I can't control these outside sources, but I can control what I do. I can control what is the final straw, right? Because I'll just buy more straws, and that's where I'm at. You know, it's a lot of losing forward. And it's not like I come from like generational wealth. I mean, despite starting the most businesses in this country, you know, we're not coming from a position of upper hand, but I do have the humility to say, hey, I need help. And those who can help me financially, they help me. Those who will give me a great deal on a grinder, which I'm going to showcase next week. And those can give me a great deal on coffee, and those of my chosen family and my actual family, who will do my GoFundMe or Venmo me money or PayPal me money and stuff like that to purchase these things and purchase cups, or like Sally and Chris and my mom and my older brother and my dad and all of these people who, even in all the things that they go through, they're like, hey, I believe in you. And so at that point, I have made a commitment to not making that belief be irrational. So yeah. And they're so much more important to me than whatever no I may receive. That's the thing. Like when you don't have the misconception that you've started by yourself. No. And even if I was able to hustle and bustle by myself, I would have a plethora of ancestors who did the very hardest thing possible, and that is to survive another day having their humanity denied, to to be the domino that falls forward and makes a space for me, makes a path for me, and I can be trusted with their hope. I can be trusted with their good fortune. I can be trusted with all the things that the universe owes them for the things that have happened to them. I can be trusted with that. And so I just kind of have to say that, like, we get a little woo-woo. But when has coffee never been woo-woo? You know what I'm saying? Like, you can read it in the coffee grounds that I am that motherfucking bitch. And that's what it is. And you need to say that. Like, the thing about coffee being a ritual, right? And this again goes to marketing, right? Like, this investment in myself, this is my silent partner. I pour one out for the people who can never say I love you and I support you out loud because breath has been taken from them or time has been taken from them, but they're here. And I'm sipping to you. I pour one out for the homies. I pour one out for the ancestors. And I just cannot prioritize whatever no I may hear, whatever wait I may hear cannot have a higher priority than the support and the belief that I have in myself and the belief that I have in the belief of the people that are so important to me. Like, there are people that are so important to me, and their perspective is so important to me that this no cannot be weighed more than their absolutely you fucking can. So, and that's something, like, if you're trying to do your own business, or if you're in the midst of your own business, if you're in the weeds, if COVID has fucked with you, if you've gotten it all wrong and you have to start over, buy another cup. If you're on your last straw, bitch, go to Costco. If you can't make it to Costco, stand outside of McDonald's and somebody's going to drop a straw on the way to their car. Whatever you got to do to get another straw, get you another straw, okay? So there we go. What I also like about being able to carve out my digital space that's not rooted in the need to be respectable is I get to talk about things that are important to me. Let me tell you a story about being behind the bar is black. Being black and existing in the United States of America in a southern state in specialty coffee, that in the South there is a evangelical Christian stronghold over the specialty coffee industry. And I'm going to get into it as I get into it, but that's the truth. And as a person who grew up in a church, my father is an ordained bishop. My grandparents were ministers, bishops, you know, I don't fuck with y'all on a level, but many of the criticisms that I have for the institution of American Christianity, they apply when the institution is institutioning and caffeinated. You know what I'm saying? And so I remember being behind the bar and Tamir Rice was murdered, assassinated by the police for a 12-year-old boy being in an empty park with a toy gun, and a police officer got out of his car in under 3 seconds and shot a 12-year-old boy because he looked like a man with a gun in an empty park in an open carry state. And I had to serve a bunch of people coffee, and a lot of people don't give coffee customers the shit that some of y'all deserve, because that would come in southern white, my cross on my neck. I'm having an impromptu Bible study, and I'm going to move the chairs, and I'm not going to tip, but I'm going to stay past closing because the conversation was just so spirit led. What spirit? I don't fucking know. That would come in and, you know, get from watching the news or watch the news the night before and feel like they had to engage. They finally see a black person who has to, like, they think, who has to say something and make them feel good about their opinion, and they have to bring it up. Like, they see a black person, they're like, you know what's happening with black people and how, and they want to come to me while I'm behind the bar, while I'm underpaid, serving things that were made by other black hands, underpaid. And I guess, like, defend how they think it's okay that Black people can be murdered by people who their tax dollars and their subjugation, because we don't have to get into, if you're interested, the report of Ferguson is not that far from other counties and other police precincts, we should be okay that they were murdered by the police, because my uncle's a cop and he wouldn't do that. And you look up their uncle and their uncle has, like, multiple fucking complaints, but that's what it's like, right? And so you're Black behind the bar and Black shit is happening, and most specialty coffee houses are signifiers of gentrification. And the violence of gentrification not only is physical violence, which is what we're going to talk about in just a couple minutes, but it's the emotional and other violence of, like, shit, I don't want to sit here and have you defend why you don't think it's a bad thing that Officer Friendly opened a clip into a 12-year-old child. I don't fucking care. Just order your goddamn latte and get out of my face. You don't even have to tip. You know what I'm saying? And so, whoop. And I know that so when you think about that, and so then you think about gentrification and the violence of gentrification, and Breonna Taylor. The police were working with a developer who was trying to bring up the neighborhoods by bringing down the neighborhood, right? And murdered a woman sleeping in her bed. And still, even with her, like, we've had to wait justice for it to be, like, applied. It has to be denied for a time because, of course, she's a Black woman and we should wait because it's going to get better. You know what I'm saying? And so a lot of coffee places first of all, they don't hire Black people and they don't hire brown people, right? And if they do, they don't want you to talk about anything that could remotely be going on with your life or remotely going on with you specifically, because you're the third space. And so that third space means no safety for me, no safety for other marginalized communities. So you all can feel safe in each shop. And so that's why I was like, you know what? I'm not going to have a space, right? So Sweet Finish is a mobile, and it's a bespoke, and I am going to create an experience, and then I'm going to get the fuck out because, frankly, I don't like y'all. And it's not that I don't like you. It's just like, the moment that these things happen, right? Now I have to brew in a way that centers your comfort. But I'm just, like, really super duper thankful to be in this digital space. To coffee comes from Ethiopia, the one African country that was not colonized by a European colonizer. And so shout out to that energy and that resilience from the coffee bean. May it seep into my spirit and seep into my soul. May it seep into yours. Thanks for watching. I'll be back next week and we will talk about microns. What the fuck are they? Why should you spend the most money on your grinder? And I don't know. Hit me up if you got something you want to talk about. There may be people on here, but frankly, like, you're not going to be up in here if I've got to, like, not wear my sports bra when I'm brewing coffee. Yeah. But yeah, this is Sweet Finish, the first of multitudes of sweetness. And we're gonna achieve this. We're gonna pick, if we gotta take a field trip to the parking lot of McDonald's and scrape a straw, we're gonna find another straw. If you're on your last straw, you find another one, bitch. And that's what I'm gonna do this well. Ooh, I feel fancy.